said things that are horrible.
Hold on.
You have said things that are horrible. Her.
Me.
Hold on.
Oh, we're gonna have to clear this up big time.
You want to make me this horrible human being that I'm not.
Lisa's welcome to believe them if that's what they want to tell her that's happened.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And wow, the drama that not just the ladies bring on Salt Lake City, but also the after show of Salt Lake City.
I think this is the first time an after show has really been brought into the hellfire that is Real Housewives reunion. And this time it was all between Lisa Barlow and Bronwyn Newport, who haven't been getting along this season. But it was the comments that Lisa made on the after show that really set things off.
What did you say on the after show?
I had a long conversation with Gwen's grandmother, and she's like, we're open to meeting her. We're excited. She's like, the last we were told, you know, Bronwyn had a miscarriage and there was no child.
And they were the comments, and I might be fully lying right now.
Yeah.
But I think they got removed. They maybe were scrubbed from the after show or not, because I know people said, I was on Twitter, so grain of salt, that some moments of the after show were removed, but maybe because they didn't want it there. But of course, it spread like wildfire, and now it's also on the forefront, of course, about Lisa saying that Bronwyn's, Gwen's grandparents thought Bronwyn had a miscarriage.
I think she was told that you had a miscarriage, and she said we didn't hear differently.
It's confusing.
It was really confusing, and I guess the implication here is that Bronwyn possibly faked a miscarriage, or that's what the internet gathered from what Lisa had said, which the accusation or the implication that one has faked a miscarriage is probably not so fun to deal with if you're Bronwyn.
And also to have the conversation with
Gwen, your daughter.
And also, what's the thing? It's either that she faked it or that she told the grandparents that so they would not be in the picture. I think those, because I almost interpreted it as Lisa defending the grandparents' lack thereof involvement, even though Bronwyn kind of said, I never wanted to talk to them. I never wanted anything from them.
You have been on TV for a long time, much longer than me. And you knew what going on the after show and repeating that I faked a miscarriage.
I never said you faked a miscarriage.
And you know how damaging that would be to me.
But either way, however you slice and dice it, it's not good.
It just feels very, very icky. And I don't think that Bronwyn felt comfortable or at peace with Lisa's justifications or explanations. And from what it seems, from Bronwyn's perspective, a lack of apology.
Do you feel badly that Bronwyn and Gwen were hurt by what you said?
Listen, if I could have just said what I needed to say, I would have said it. But then there's chime-ins.
Okay.
But it feels like, to me, Lisa, as of now, we don't know how parts 2 and 3 go, but she can only see or perceive that I feel like she perceives what Bronwyn is saying on the reunion stage is an attack on her character.
You're trying to make me a bad person, which I'm not.
Rather than understanding that
Yes.
the choices she made during filming and on the after show have really hurt Bronwyn and her daughter. And I don't think that's Lisa's intention. I don't think that Lisa intended to hurt
Because I
Bronwyn.
think also when Bronwyn was like, well, I told production not to air those clips, and when Lisa was like, I didn't know that. So I think Lisa thought everything was fair game, maybe. So I feel after that moment, Lisa was like, oh, then
What do you think of Bronwyn's argument that Lisa's been on TV for a long time and she has a better understanding of how this would permeate not only the season, but the fan reaction? Bronwyn obviously is new to this, so she's a little bit more naive.
The confusing thing with that is that this is really like a specific delicate thing, which like Lisa, I guess thankfully hasn't had to navigate. So I don't think it was like Lisa in like a chess way being like, I'm going to have Bronwyn talk about this, then I'll say this, and the fans will think that.
Right.
Because we know we love Lisa Barlow. She is who she is. I don't think Lisa's thinking that, and like I'm saying this as a compliment to Lisa Barlow's love of self. I don't think she's wondering, how are people perceiving Bronwyn now? She's like thinking like, I am Lisa Barlow. Here I am. So, you know what I mean? Did you think the same way? Or like,
I don't know. I mean, like, a part of me was understanding what Bronwyn meant. Like, maybe
like she fell into a trap.
I don't know if it was that she even fell into a trap. It was just like Lisa should have been more cautious about saying something so big on camera, because when you say something big on camera, it becomes a big deal. And it's never been something quite like this that Lisa has had to navigate on camera, but she's seen other big situations, unfurl on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I did kind of understand what Bronwyn was saying. Like, in that sense, she should have been less clumsy in her conversations and a bit more protective because it was so sensitive.
It was a bold thing for an after show too, I guess. And she's partnered with Brittany. So, and like Brittany's not someone who's going to reel in Lisa to be like, oh, don't say that.
Right. And Lisa did say, we filmed those before the season airs.
We filmed the after show before the show airs.
Okay.
So I went off of talking innocently about my friend Bronwyn and how I feel for her and Gwen.
You're kind of in a cloud of confusion and not really understanding how the narrative is going to be played out, or what.
And also not hearing the confessionals of like what affected Bronwyn with what.
Exactly. So I do think that if she had insight from watching the show back, she would have handled the after show situation differently, at least.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. Here's to hoping. We love both women. We honestly do. Big Bronwyn fans, big Lisa Barlow fans. I hope there's a path forward. When Andy asked if there was a path forward.
Is there a path forward for the two of you?
I don't. There was a lot. Talk about lack of communication.
Yeah.
There was. It seemed like the girls were both too stunned to speak.
Yeah, the girls and their boys were, because then when the men came out to the stage really soon after.
Yeah.
And it seems like now it's the Todd off versus John off.
You asserting Bronwyn had a miscarriage, which was why...
Watch your tone.
I'm not watching my tone. Watch your tone.
Right. Okay.
No,
okay.
watch your tone.
Okay.
Yeah, and Todd's ready to rumble. I mean, it seemed like he didn't really enjoy the process.
Not at all.
Of the Real Housewives.
What I feel like when he was like, when Mary was like, oh, Robert Sr. doesn't want to do this. Todd's probably like, that was an option?
Yeah. But now that he's in it, he's in it. He's ready to go. He wanted to sit behind Andy.
Okay.
I want to sit behind Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Andy doesn't want you to sit behind him.
Which a lot of boys want to sit behind Andy. I don't know.
God, don't send a text with that thought because it'll be read. I do feel, well, I would have loved if he brought out the necklace and earrings that we're leaving question marks for, but I do.
That really confused me. Everyone's explanation, the texting with Lisa and the jeweler, and then Bronwyn's explanations were honestly confusing me. So she got a smaller, less expensive necklace and some hoops, but then the jeweler was saying that she ended up returning them or
and
not
like she
paying
didn't
her
cash.
invoices.
She was going to mail a check, but never mailed it.
Okay, yeah.
The jeweler is saying...
To Heather's question, Heather was like, do you have them or not? Because her voice is so
I honestly
raspy.
like it. It's like raspy Lindsay Lohan kind of sexy.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Book tour vibes.
Yeah.
But I know we didn't get a clear answer on that. But my thing with all of that back and forth, I'm like, okay, well, all these women are richer than me, so I don't really care. I'm like, if this is also, I'm like, the fact that were able to be loaned a $4 million necklace.
Wait, the only necklace I can think about is Angie's, that beautiful baby pink wraparound. It's so beautiful. Angie looks so stunning. And speaking of Angie, we got to talk about Angie and her little fight with Meredith, because not to toot our own horns or take credit, but Danny and I kind of caused some chaos this reunion because Angie and Meredith, they were fighting about what Meredith told us in an interview reacting to Angie's scroll stunt, where Meredith said she preferred Angie K as a backup dancer for Jen Shah.
You did a WAP video with Jen and Monica, and you and Monica were backup dancers.
You started it with your interview.
They asked me a question about what my reaction to your scroll was. And
You said I should go back to being a backup dancer.
I said I liked you better.
Yeah, she liked the WAP dance. And I just love being in a world where like Meredith Marks said WAP to us. The WAP dance. My favorite too is Andy being like, there was a music video. Like he was so, I think he was expecting like a Candace Drive Back level music video and not just like an Instagram reel. So I hope someone has since shown Andy the footage, Andy in a camera. But I know I loved that was the back and forth, and that and when Angie was like, I've been solo since I was 5. I'm no one's backup dancer. And Meredith is like, so the issue is I called you a backup dancer.
And let me be clear, I've been solo since I was 6 years old, and I'm nobody's backup dancer, okay?
Oh, this is the problem, is that you were a backup dancer in a video and I said it?
Like
Right, I know.
like Angie took it so personally about like dance skill.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that because I think that, you know, there was visual evidence that she and Monica were in fact backup dancing for Jen Shah's TikTok video performing WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I think that maybe she was thinking in a figurative sense. I am not a backup
I'm no one's
dancer.
backup.
She's the main character of her
Effie, we
own
all got
life.
pain. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I agree. I don't think that Angie K is a proverbial backup dancer. I don't think she's backup dancing her way through life. She got first chair. She's right there next to Andy. So but you know, when you were hired to be a backup dancer, well, with Jen, you're hired but not paid.
Now, if
volunteering.
Emma, now I know Emma didn't get any money from any necklaces from Jen Shah.
Yeah.
Bronwyn Newport, I think, could cash some checks. Yeah. I also did love the Twitter beef when Angie's like, Lisa, you backed up that with Meredith. She's like, I just love that she quoted the Torah. I'm like, Lisa Barlow.
She was like, it was a scroll, the Torah. I'm also Jewish. No, I mean, I love that they found some sisterhood early on, given their history.
Yes, I know. Yeah, Lisa and Meredith have really linked up, but Angie, Lisa, and Meredith, Twitter was their sphere this time around, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But what do you feel about, because now part 2, we ended on Todd and John going at it, standing by their man. I don't know how heated it's going to get with them.
I mean, it seems like it's going to get pretty heated from the preview.
How did you feel about Bronwyn and Todd together?
I liked that. I was looking at their body language. Bronwyn was turned back a little bit. She had her arm resting on his leg.
You see Whitney turned so far away from Bronwyn at times?
Yes, I was also checking out Whitney's body language. Yeah. That was really weird. So I don't know how she's feeling about Bronwyn. However, Bronwyn's dress and shoulders are so big. Maybe there was no other choice.
That's true.
For her.
Because when she sat down, she's like, I can't see.
Because like also Whitney, shout out to her spray tan. It was so beautiful. But that looked lacquered on. And so I think that had she brushed her beautiful bare shoulders up against Bronwyn's fabric, which is in abundance here at the reunion, maybe she was scared of wiping her tan off. So maybe it's less about how she feels about Bronwyn and more about how she feels about her spray tan.
I don't know if she rents or owns it. I don't want to mess with it. No, she bought it from Carly Kloss, I think. Or not, Kristen Siriano.
Yes. Yeah. Carly wore it to the Met Gala and she's tight with Christian. According to Christian, she is one of his paying customers.
Emma.
So Emma, if you're watching.
I feel like Emma should be worried because Mary Cosby's like, I'd never do business with her.
Yeah. And if Mary says it, that she has a direct line to God. So some curses are coming for you, Emma. Also, Emma, we need to know, because we didn't really find out from from Lisa Barlow. Why did you text Lisa out of the blue to say that?
No, she just texted me out of the blue, and she said, why does Bronwyn keep saying they bought the necklace? They never bought the necklace.
She texted you out of the blue.
Do you know her?
What? Did you believe Lisa Barlow that she texted her out of the blue about the situation? Or do you think Lisa did some digging?
What if Lisa was like, oh, sorry, I butt dialed you. How are you? I'm sitting with Bronwyn.
Which I wouldn't be mad at.
I wouldn't either, because I feel it's not like reaching out to a blogger, it's reaching out to a jeweler. Every kiss begins with K. Every tea begins with Emma.
Right, exactly.
And also part 2, we get to it seems like it's going to be heavy on the Angie, Lisa, John, Sean rumors and drama.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're hashing it out a bit more, because I feel like we didn't really get the period on the end of that sentence this season, because there was so much drama and we were moving through so many conflicts. And
we need to close the circle.
Yeah. Oh, what circle, Danny?
The circle game.
The circle game.
The circle game. What circle, Emma?
It feels
the circle of the necklace.
I know that Lisa probably has more to say about the circle situation, because that honey, when she said circle jerk, that was on the tip of her tongue. She was ready. I don't even think it didn't matter to her, to me, from what I saw on the finale, that she was fighting. Was it with Whitney? Was she fighting with Whitney? Okay, I forgot who I forgot.
And
that
I think
the
she was making an analogy.
Yeah, she was making an analogy.
Very Jackie Teresa.
But it felt like, I don't know.
It could have been like if the wind was blowing, she'd be like, well, I heard. What if that's like I think she just she's like, this is the last night and I gotta say what I want to say.
And with no shade to anyone.
No.
Maybe only shade to myself. Maybe I shouldn't put myself on blast here. But I'm not mad at the visual.
Oh! Oh,
know how I feel about Sean. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I believe Lisa, but I'm saying I might want to believe Lisa.
If you just believe.
It's a night. He looked so handsome. He looked so handsome. Any time, any place, any space, anywhere.
The Salt Lake Boys.
Honestly,
Yeah.
everyone's pretty cute. Everyone
Yeah.
is pretty cute. Seth Marks, also very handsome. John Barlow does it for me. John Barlow in a backwards hat really does it for me. John Barlow shirtless absolutely does it for me. Honestly, like
You could be the mending fences between Angie and Lisa because you're just like,
I would what, Danny? What would I do? The question is, what wouldn't I do?
I was gonna say, I don't know if you'd be allowed back in Utah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I talk about excommunication.
Yeah, well, to save you from that, we'll wrap it up here. Wrap it up.
Sean, call me.
Call me. But yeah, I can't wait to see you next week.
Same. More men.